Okay, number 5 says, a bridge is supported by a triangular base. The sides of each base have lengths of 63 feet, 46 feet, and 40 feet. Find the measure of the angle opposite to the 46-foot side and round to the nearest degree. So what I would do is I would draw a picture. Now you can think of it, here's the road. We have a triangular base. Now it might not be drawn to scale, so I'm going to go ahead and label it. We'll call this angle A, angle B, and angle C. This looks like the longest side here, so we'll say that that's 63 feet, which is side A. Then the next one is 46 feet. We'll say this one's 46 feet, which is side B. And then we have 40 feet over here, which is side C. Now I want to know the angle opposite to the 46-foot side. So here's the 46-foot side, so the angle opposite of that is going to be angle B. So that's what we're looking for here. Now since we're given a side-side-side triangle, we want to use the law of cosines. And the formula for angle B is B is equal to the inverse cosine of a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac. So, just like the other problems so far, we're just basically going to plug in what they gave us. So, let's see, A was 63, C is 40, and B is 46. That's over 2 times A times C. So all we have to do now is to basically plug all of that into the formula, and we'll get our answer in degrees. And this one wants us to round it to the nearest degree. So we have the inverse cosine, and then we're going to type all of this in at the same time. Okay, so we end up getting 46.75. And it wants us to round to the nearest degree. So since it's a 0.7, we're going to round up, so it's going to be 47 degrees. Okay, number 6. It says to approximate the length of a marsh, a surveyor walks 720 meters from point A to point B, and then turns 75 degrees and walks 540 meters to point C. Approximate the length of AC and round to the nearest 10. Okay, so what we're being asked to find here is we're being asked to find segment AC. So that's talking about basically how far across the marsh is here. So we're thinking about it in terms of like the side. This is going to be side B that we're solving for. So across from angle C is side C. Across from angle A is side A. Now, before we can solve this particular problem, this 75 degrees is outside of the triangle, so we need to see what angle is actually inside of the triangle. So the way that we get this particular angle, angle B in this case, is if we look here, basically whenever you have a straight line like this, the straight line is basically like half a circle. So in a straight line, there's 180 degrees. So what we can do to find this angle, angle B, is we can take 180 degrees and we can subtract out the 75 degrees, and that's going to give us angle B. So if we do that, we get 105 degrees. So that's what angle B is. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for side B, and we have a side angle side. So we want to use the law of cosines. we get the law of cosines formula for side B, and now we can plug everything in. So A was 540, C was 720, A was 540 again, C was 720. Then we have the cosine of angle B, which we found was 105 degrees. So now that we have everything plugged in, all we got to do is type all of that into the calculator. So we get 1005.61, and this one says to round to the nearest tenth, so that is one decimal place. So since this is a point zero, or since it's a 1 here, we're going to round down. So we're going to say 1005.6. And just to make our physics teachers happy, we want to put the unit of measurement, which in this case is meters. Okay, number 7 says to find the area of the triangle using Heron's area formula and round to the nearest tenth. So Heron's area formula is the area is equal to the square root of the semi-perimeter times the semi-perimeter minus A times the semi-perimeter minus B times the semi-perimeter minus C, where the semi-perimeter is A plus B plus C, or all the sides added together, divided by 2. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to find the semi-perimeter, so we need to add all of our sides together and then divide by 2. And that's going to give us our value for S. So even though it says A and B and C, it's basically just all the sides. So we're just going to add those together and then divide by 2. So we get 25. So in this case, S is going to be 25. So now that we have S, and it doesn't matter what we label these, we can just say like A, B, C if you want. But we're going to plug everything into the formula. So our semi-perimeter is 25. So we have the semi-perimeter minus A. 25, and I labeled that as 12. 25 minus B, which is 23 in this case. And then the other one is 15. So now, all we got to do is type it into the calculator, and we will get our answer. Okay, so all we got to do now is type that in. So this one says to round to the nearest tenth. So we look at the second decimal place, and if it's a 5 or higher, we round up. It's a 2, so we round down, so it's going to be 80.6. And since they gave us a unit of measurement, it's going to be yards, and since we're talking about area, it's going to be squared. Okay, number 8. It says find the area of the triangle with the given sides of 15 feet, 29 feet, and 37 feet, and round to the nearest tenth. So this one, you can draw a triangle. Let's see, this is the longest side, so we'll say this is 27 feet. This looks like the next largest. We'll call this 29 feet. And then we'll call this one 15. So all I did is draw the picture. And we can label it. So I'll just say that this is side A, side B, side C. If you labeled yours differently, that's okay. So if we start with the formula, and we've got to remember S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 2, because it's a semi-perimeter. So the first thing we need to do is to find S. So we're going to add all of our sides together and divide by 2. So we plug that into the calculator. We get 40.5. So that is our semi-perimeter for S. So now we're going to take that value and we're going to plug it in everywhere that we have S. And for A, B, and C, we're going to plug in what we have in the triangle. S minus B times S minus C. So now that we have that, all we got to do is plug that all into the calculator. So it does say to round to the nearest tenth. So we look at our second decimal place, and it's in point. It's an 8. So we're going to round up. So we're going to say 203.9. And that is feet. And since we're talking about area, it's going to be squared.